not yet. Like, Would like to get things started. There is a few seats here at the front. You're going to enjoy the front seat, so. Okay. Okay, I think we can get things started. So good afternoon and welcome, and thank you for joining us today for Energia Venture 12th Demo Day. I'm Belle Kober, and I have the privilege and the honor to be the program manager for the Accelerator programs. This year, we kicked off things in a very intensive two interview days. I have to say it's been very challenging, the selection process, especially this year. We were reviewing nearly 90 applicants from across Canada and beyond. And from that impressive pool, just 5 companies have been selected to join to the Energia winter cohort. These aren't just the good startups. They are bold, driven, and full of potential. Those companies are Excelado from British Columbia, Candidate Hub from New Brunswick, Uri from New Brunswick, Build Smarter from British Columbia, and Post Haste from New Brunswick. I have to say that Derek put a note here that I would say that he's my favorite, but I'm not going to say that. Over the last 3 months, the 5 selected companies have worked closely with mentors, instructors, and facilitators to lead us to today. Entrepreneurship is a journey filled with challenges and rewards. But having a strong and supporting network is essential. Here in New Brunswick, we are fortunate to have a vibrant and supportive ecosystem that helps us and helps those entrepreneurs to thrive. Today, we come together to hear their inspiring stories and celebrate the spirits of entrepreneurship. I am honored to welcome to the stage Dr. Kelly Scott Story, Associate Vice President, Research, Innovation, and Partnership at UNB.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin, I'd like to respectfully acknowledge that UNB stands on the unsurrendered and unceded traditional Wolastoqey land. The lands of the Wabanaki peoples are recognized in a series of peace and friendship treaties to establish an ongoing relationship of peace, friendship, and mutual respect between equal nations. The river that you see out the window that runs by our university is known as the Wolastoq, along which live Wolastoqey, the people of the beautiful and bountiful river. Wolastoq is also known as the St. John River. So today is an exciting event, and I'm pleased to offer a few words on behalf of President Mazerow, who wasn't able to be here today. At UNB, we are excited to be hosting the 12th cohort of Energia Ventures and the first cohort of 2025. Opportunities to learn from leaders and mentors in this program is a unique opportunity. The chance to receive their feedback and their guidance and advice may very well make the difference in the pathway to your ultimate business success. The Startup Accelerator out of the J. Herbert Smith Center for Technology Management and Entrepreneurship has been providing an innovative program to support amazing businesses and entrepreneurs since 2016. With this cohort, we have had 52 companies in the program, which is very impressive. If we are to look only at the companies from the last year's cohort, they have filled more than 18 new positions since the completion of their program. Assets, a company from the 2022 cohort, moved from Luxembourg to incorporate here in Fredericton, opening new positions in the local economy and advancing the technology and engineering development within the province. And they anticipate to grow to 45 employees within the next 2.5 years. In 2024, 2 alumni were named to Foresight 50, Canada's most investable clean tech ventures. And this year, we have 3 companies from New Brunswick and 2 from British Columbia. We are proud that these teams could take part in our accelerated program. So with that, I would like to wish everyone good luck here today, and I look forward to following your continued success and wish you the best of luck into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. I would like to welcome to the stage Dr. Dhirendra Shukla, the chair of the J. Herbert Smith Center for Technology Management and Entrepreneurship.
I know you're not here to see me or hear from me. You're here to see the amazing founders that are here. And that is the beauty of our program, our institution, and what the community that we have developed to foster and support the founders. The founder journey is incredibly hard, and this requires a lot of people supporting them. And it's an honor and an absolute privilege to be surrounded by founders because they have a unique energy, they have a unique passion that just uplifts all of us in situations that are when things are down. I just love being surrounded by founders, and to see them grow and do amazing things. We always say that the center is all about creating a family, but founders have to know that when things are going well for them, we are their cheerleaders, we're their families cheering them on. When things are going wrong, we're open to listening, supporting, and being there for them. And this is the beauty of New Brunswick and Fredericton that I've found, is that everyone here wants to help you. And that's why you find organizations, startups gravitate to this sense of community, sense of belonging. And we want to welcome the current cohort to the family. And so excited about your pitch, your presentation, and want to give you the floor because this is your moment to shine. I'm here cheering you on. The community is here cheering you on. And thank you for doing what you're doing. And it's awesome to see alumni, awesome to see community members, leaders in our community doing phenomenal things. So thank you to all the founders and entrepreneurs for doing what you're doing and being here to support everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, to follow up what Dhirendra said there's so many people in this audience when I was going through my entrepreneurship journey that helped me through it. That I've cried on Dhirendra's shoulder before, I've cried on Dom's shoulder before, and so I started a company when I was here at university. I had a bad back and made this wall-mounted back massager. We eventually, grew to over 250,000 customers, and it's kind of funny, just a ball on the wall. But there were so many challenges through the course of that, and you really don't know how bad it can get until you're in it. And just when you think things are smooth sailing, that's when you got to be most cautious because things can go wrong. And I had somewhat of an unexpected exit from my company, and Dhirendra and Dom and the group at TME and Bell brought me in to allow me to work with this cohort and try to help them not make the same mistakes that I made through my process. And it's been, in my 8-year career so far, it's been the most fulfilling 3 months out of the whole time. So really grateful for the continued support always. And so the group of companies here, there's some incredibly bright minds. I think, sometimes it's like, oh, I know what I'm doing, but then I meet people like that are in the cohort here, and the level of intelligence is just remarkable. So my role is to introduce everyone today, and the first person I'm going to introduce, she's actually the first person I've ever met from MIT. It's inside joke, but but through the startup process, I had a mentor. I was going through some trials and tribulations, and they said, there's 5 key pillars in life. It's your friends, your family, your relationship, your career, and your health. And the reality of it is you can't be good to all those buckets if your health isn't there. And so I think health needs to be, first and foremost for everyone. And Dr. Stephanie is doing something that is really accelerating how we're going to approach health in the future. She's created this bioink, which can be 3D printed into human tissue. And my hope, I'm a diabetic, my hope in bringing her in was that once she starts 3D printing pancreases, I'm going to be first on the list. So without further ado, Dr. Stephanie.
All right. Well, thanks, Curtis, and thanks to everyone at Energia for all their things. Yeah, I've got a mic. Yeah, I'm seeing if I have slides. Okay, they aren't on the screen, so. Yeah, that screen's blank. Okay. Oh, no, I just killed another mic. Hey, everyone. Thanks. My name is Dr. Stephanie Willarth. Oh, there we go. Now I've got some slides. All right, perfect. I'm Dr. Stephanie Willarth, and I am both the CEO and co-founder of Axolotl Biosciences, as well as a professor at the University of Victoria. And Axolotl Biosciences is an award-winning biotechnology company that was spun out of my research group at the University of Victoria in 2020. And as Curtis mentioned, our company focuses on making high-quality reagents for 3D printing tissues. So our goal at Axolotl is to build life in a layer-by-layer fashion. So how many of you out there have a normal 3D printer? Okay, we're doing good. So bioprinting is similar in terms of the fact that we are depositing a filament, like you do with traditional 3D printing, usually a heated up plastic polymer. But for 3D bioprinting, you need bioinks that are specially designed to keep cells both alive and functional. And then it gets dispensed in a layer-by-layer fashion, as you can see here on this slide, to generate living tissues. And so there's a number of reasons why you might want to generate living tissues. As Curtis mentioned, one of the ideas is to generate replacement tissues. But one of my core areas that we've really focused on is neuroscience and bioprinting brain tissue. And the idea here is to use these brain tissues and other tissues we print as a tool for doing drug discovery, because the current processes for doing drug discovery are very expensive, time-consuming, and yield poor results. So it takes on average 16 years and over $1 billion to get a drug into the clinic where it has an 88% chance of failing. And in fact, one of the examples I like to give, being a person who works in the neuroscience area, is Abdulhelm, which was a drug for Alzheimer's that Biogen did spend $1 billion on. And it did pass clinical trials, but when they expanded it out into a larger patient population, when it became standard of care, it turned out this very expensive drug was not very effective at all at treating these symptoms. It had very nasty side effects, and thus there were a lot of questions raised about why it actually had gotten approval in the first place. And one of the reasons why it's so hard to predict whether a drug's going to be effective in the nervous system is that animals that these drugs are tested on, like mice and rats, don't typically get diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. But we can replicate these tissues when we bioprint them in a dish. And so 3D printing these human tissue models can serve as a way to test drugs at 1/10 of the cost of using these animals and potentially assess them in a more accurate fashion. So in terms of the market, 3D printing and 3D bioprinting in particular have really been exploding in terms of their compound annual growth rate, and the market is estimated to reach $9.3 billion by 2032. And you can see some examples of recent deals signed by 3D printing companies, including the Vancouver-based Aspect Biosystems, who is trying to 3D print pancreases, that did sign a $2.6 billion deal with Novo Nordisk as well to treat diabetes. One of the things that sets us apart from our competitors is we actually have worked with a number of different bioprinters, 6 different bioprinters, and we can get our ink to work on all of them. So we have a lot of expertise in making reagents that go across these different platforms to print tissues. And in terms of our current customers, we are working with a number of academic research groups, and then the second largest market is pharmaceutical companies. So our current product, which is commercially available, called Tissue Print, which is a versatile bioink for printing a wide variety of tissues. It works by having a bioink, which is composed of a printable version of the protein fibrin. So when you cut yourself and a blood clot forms, that's fibrin in action. And I've been working with this material for 2 decades now, so we spent a lot of time getting this formulation to work because it is chemically cross-linked in order to make a solid filament as it gets extruded from the print head. And you have to be really careful when you do this because if you have too high of a concentration, the ink will clog the print head. You have cross-linking that takes place too slowly, then you can't actually extrude a filament and make the tissues that you desire. And so some of the advantages of our bioink over some of the other commercially available bioinks is you do get superior levels of cell viability. So if you're printing really delicate cells like those found in the brain, you actually get over 90% survival, which can't be achieved with the other inks that you can buy commercially on the market. Additionally, our ink is xeno-free, and so while we're not currently putting our ink into humans, the fact that it doesn't contain animal products means we could use it for applications for 3D printing human tissues for transplantation. Our ink has been featured in over 16 peer-reviewed publications, and it was selected by ACS Biomaterials and Science, which is a journal, as their method of the year in 2019. And we have been selling tissue print since 2022, and since we are at a university, I will say Axolotl does have the exclusive commercial license to our bioink technology for both tissue print and its follow-up products, brain print and heart print, which are based on our patent-pending technology. So just a bit of our traction accomplishments to date. As I mentioned, it's already been featured in a number of peer-reviewed publications, both from my research group and other groups. We have gotten 14 different recognitions, including 2 international awards, including being a Falling Walls winner, and we were the only Canadian company selected to pitch last year at France's Hello Tomorrow Technology Conference. We did complete creative destruction labs in the advanced therapy stream, and we have had 17 different beta testers and customers outside of UVic who've been using our ink to print a wide variety of tissues. And as I said, we do have a patent that's been awarded in Europe, and we're currently finishing up prosecution in the United States and Canada around our smart bioink technologies, which make up our second product, brain print, for 3D printing brain tissue, and our third product, heart print, for printing cardiac tissue, which we were recently awarded $1 million from Genome Canada to further development of. So in terms of where we're currently at, we are currently doing beta testing of our HeartPrint bioink, and we're hoping to commercially launch our BrainPrint product this summer. We are currently fundraising, so if you're interested in contributing to our round, please feel free to meet up with me after this. And we hope by raising our current round to move off campus. We currently do production in my research lab at the University of Victoria as well. And so, as I mentioned, I've been a professor for 15 years and have published over 116 peer-reviewed papers in the area of tissue engineering. I'm also a fellow of the International Society of Biomaterial Science and Engineering, which is the highest honor for a person working in this type of material science. My co-founder, Laura, Dr. Laura de la Vega, did her PhD, so she's the one who did a lot of the development and publications and is on the patents for all of our proprietary bioinks. And she also has experience in entrepreneurship. And so, as I mentioned, we are currently fundraising with the goals to move off campus, catalyze our research and development, and bring BrainPrint and HeartPrint to market, as well as expand our business development team. And so with that, thank you guys for listening. We have a wonderful team that does all of our social media, so you can find us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. And yeah, feel free to come find me after if you want to learn more about bioink and how to 3D print human tissues. And thanks again.
Well, that's pretty cool. It's been a really awesome experience working with this group of people. It's my first time really in somewhat teacher leadership position outside of the company that I work for, and we took a different approach to this cohort where there's really three outcomes that can happen with a startup company. It's the startup dies, which is unfortunately the most frequent occurrence. The startup can have an exit or liquidity event where the preferred shareholders and the debt holders get paid, but the founders see nothing. It's like almost as bad of an outcome as just dying from my perspective. And then the third outcome, which is what every startup tries to achieve, is an exit where the earnings are distributed evenly across the cap table in accordance with ownership levels. And it's so infrequent that that outcome happens. And so we've worked to start with the end in mind and work backwards in raising money with purpose and not having too high of a valuation at too early of a stage so that you get diluted over time. And it's far out thinking for companies that are just starting and haven't raised capital, but this whole group has taken it so seriously and done so well. So what you won't see on these slides today behind the curtains is the true strength of all these businesses from a financial perspective. And it was just an absolute pleasure working with our next speaker, Brad from Candidate Hub, who just took every opportunity to learn. Like, he really embodied listen like you have the most to learn. And it was just such a pleasurable experience working with him. And I think from an investor perspective, when you're looking at an early stage company, just you're obviously looking at the business and numbers and the idea, but the founder and their ability to be coachable, I think, is probably the most important thing at the early stage. And I don't think I've ever met someone in my life that's more coachable than Brad from Candidate Hub. So without further ado, I'll let you take us on a ride.
Thanks, Curtis. Curtis was really helpful in getting us to where we are today, but I'm really not sure how you follow printing live tissue. So, show of hands, who here has ever heard from a recruiter, "We will keep your resume on file for future considerations"? Now, how many people have actually heard back from that recruiter? So, companies spend $250 billion a year trying to find candidates, whether that's through job boards or LinkedIn or staffing agencies. It represents 80% of the time that it takes to fill a position. So billions and billions and billions of dollars every year are spent buying candidate data. But as you probably already know by the show of hands on the second question, only 10% of recruiters actually go back to that data. So you might have 3 or 4 rock star candidates, you offer one the job, and instead of going back to that data, the next time you're hiring, you start all over and spend billions of dollars more. The recruitment industry is clearly broken, and the recruitment tech market trying to solve it is massive. It's expected to hit $30 billion in the next few years. So I'd like to introduce you to Candidate Hub. Candidate Hub is a candidate nurturing engine that attracts automatically, nurtures intelligently, and hires 50% faster. We're solving the problem of finding candidates and keeping them engaged so that we can stop lying to candidates and actually reach out to them in future opportunities. Candidate Hub works by leveraging the millions of candidates that are engaging with content online, that have previously applied for jobs, or are browsing social media and various multiple channels. So if you think about it, hopefully this will play, or you guys might have to hit play. There we go. So if you think about it, every day candidates are browsing your content online. They're looking at your job boards. They're looking at career opportunities. But 95% leave without applying. Candidate Hub captures every one of those engagements. It tracks everything that the candidate is doing, and then we segment them into buckets so that we can create targeted, personalized campaigns. With just a few clicks, we can pick the group of candidates that we want to target. We can do things like send them emails, send them text messages. We can make decisions based on how they're behaving with our content. Are they opening emails? Are they looking at that social post? We can decide on conditions such as skills, years of service, etc., to build these very complex campaigns in minutes, direct candidates to landing pages that are built directly within the platform, and then build in forms that are designed to convert candidates from browsing to actually applying for jobs. And then we can connect recruiters with candidates that are ready to be hired today. So, and we've proven that this works. We have been working with Horizon Health for the past year. We've helped them add 10,000 new candidates to their candidate pool. We've increased their response rate, or decreased the time it takes for them to respond to candidates by 85%. Candidates historically have been telling us, I apply for a job and I go into a black hole. That is the biggest frustration for candidates. So our platform allows recruiters to send personalized responses to every candidate. We've helped them reduce one department 13 hours a week, just shortlisting candidates on really high volume positions. And we've helped them hire over 300 candidates in the past year. Our business is a subscription-based model based on the size of a candidate database, as well as how involved they need us to be, whether they're doing all of the work themselves or they want our done-for-you managed services. In terms of our competition, we stand out in three key areas. We are the only platform that has the detailed level of tracking that we have, as well as scoring based on what the candidate is doing, and the ability to integrate with existing technology, but most importantly, to push candidate data to the applicant tracking system. We help eliminate multiple points of entry. I'm sure you've had it in your experience one time where you were talking to a hiring manager and the hiring manager wants to hire you and they send you back to the HR team and the recruiter says, okay, now I need you to go to our career site and officially apply for this job so that we can get you into our ATS. We eliminate that step and make the experience much more fluid for the candidate as well as the recruiter. Our go-to-market strategy is really a three-pronged focused approach where we're looking at quick traction with personalized outbound campaigns, as well as event activations using QR codes and things like that at trade shows, etc. We're developing strategic partnerships with the big ATS players like Workday, Greenhouse, Smart Recruiters, and so on. And our long-term vision is to build a talent marketing certification program, much like the HubSpot Academy, where people can go on and learn tricks and tools about recruitment marketing. Our growth plan has us achieving $30 million in ARR in the next 5 years, and we're a team that is poised and able to make this happen. Myself, I have years of experience in sales, marketing, as well as staffing. I've recruited corporately as well as in the staffing agency world. Our marketing director, James Whitelock, also manages and owns a recruitment marketing firm, so he's on the ground every day seeing these challenges. Joel is our growth advisor. He's one half of HR's Most Dangerous podcast, The Chad and Cheese Show, if you've ever heard of it. If you haven't, viewer discretion is advised. Joel has immediate connections to a lot of our ICP. And Stephen McGrath comes to us directly from a former competitor. Candidate ID, which is a business very similar to ours, was purchased in 2022 by iCIMS. Stephen was instrumental in building that product and moving to iCIMS and is now a part of our product advisor team. We are raising $1 million for 18 months of runway, which we plan to use to build a high-performance sales team, scale our product, and make it much more user-friendly, much more AI-driven, and expand our leadership team, launching our our improved version of our product in 2026 as we enter into a seed round. So again, my name is Brad DiPolo. I'm from Candidate Hub, a candidate nurturing engine. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. That's my QR code, or meet with me in the back if you want to talk more about what our platform can do or the investment opportunity. And if you think about it, Your best hire already knows you. Thank you.
All right. So, by show of hands, who is using a large language model, AI, like ChatGPT, one of those programs? So, I mean, very soon, all of us will be raising our hands. It's inevitable. I should be a salesperson for OpenAI and ChatGPT. I would be like rolling in money right now. Anyway, but it's unlocked a whole new opportunity for us to explore our ideas and have a thought partner that can just bolster and further the thinking and the ideas that we have about things. There's a really unique opportunity where, you know, it's sort of like the internet boom where there's all these companies rushing out to build AI ideas, and from the venture capital landscape, it's somewhat saturated because everyone's trying to find a use case for their AI. However, the next company that I'm going to present, Uri, is a company that is helping people create an AI that helps you create your own AI. So a foundational program that's, yeah, so I'll use it. And just the other thing I want to say, just on the team front. So these are very new founders, started the company in December, but what's remarkable about them is the dynamic of the team. So everything in nature wants to be at balance, it wants to find harmony, and it's like concept of yin and yang, you know, there's two things that balance it out, and Vagmi and Shanti are that as much as you could be. Vagmi's mind is in the universe, and Shanti keeps his feet on the ground. It's a remarkable team, and they both have a lot of tech experience, and I think they're going to do very well. So without further ado, Vagmi and Shanti.
Hi, I'm Shanti. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Urai. Urai is a platform to develop AI agents from prompt to production. In simpler terms, you can make your own AI with Urai. I've known Vagmi for around 22 years. We've worked with SAP Labs, and then we ran our own consulting firm. He's a geek, literally breathes code. He loves to talk about tech, and he has been a speaker in several tech conferences. His expertise in GenAI, ML, and his experience as a CTO is a valuable asset for Urai.
And this is Shanti, so she's a generalist. She can handle both business and the technical stuff, so she can be in development, product management, operations, all of it. But her biggest strength is common sense. And you'd find that she's has impeccable work ethic, and she's pretty intense. And as Kurt was saying, I trust her to make sure that my feet are on the ground when my head is in the clouds.
97% of companies have AI as the KPI for this year. We understand the problems that we can solve with AI. So we are currently developing a solution for a problem that we have encountered. And I'm sure that other companies can also, tech companies can also relate to it. Sales is setting a meeting with tech to close a deal with a prospect. Tech is flying blind. They have no idea what interactions happen between the sales and the prospect because they don't have access to the CRM. They don't know the product pitch because it's buried somewhere in the Google Drive. The result is a missed opportunity. That's where AI agents can help. What if the moment the meeting is scheduled, automatically we can pull the data from the CRM and the Google Drive, do a web search of the company and their competitors, and provide a smart summary to the team via Slack or email? That's what a meeting prep AI agent can do. If you need to build this in-house, then the company needs to have 6 months of time, 2 to 3 developers, because they need to develop the LLM integrations, the workflow engine, the database, the infrastructure, and all these complexities are basically reinventing the wheel. Because with Urai, we provide this out of the box. LLM integrations, workflow engine, vector search, deployment, all covered. No need to hire expensive specialists. No need to worry about infrastructure. You just need to focus on the core business, and you can increase your productivity. Urai serves as a platform where developers can spin up AI agents based on their customer requirements or their company requirements. So since we started with Meeting Prep Agent, we've been talking with sales team and tech team and defining other agents. So if you have a problem which you think AI can address, please come and talk to us after this. As a product, Urai offers ready-made integrations, a simple code and a prompt editor, and a platform to run and monitor and improve AI agents. We started this product idea in this December, and we built the prototype, and we have almost built the secure code execution engine, and we release it end of May. And we would be working on the workflow engine and whatever integrations are required by our early adopters. We are already having conversations with them. And that would be ready by end of July, and our beta release would be ready by end of the year. Now, brace yourself for the next slide, because it's going to get technical.
All right, so I know there's a lot happening here. Trust me. And I'd be happy to talk about all of it back in, but I just want you to focus on the green box here, which is the code execution engine and the code synthesis agent, which allows you to do this. Now, we built this, so I thought I would as well share it. So there's a small demo of what this can do at this point in time. So remember the use case that Shanti said about Meeting Prep Agent, where we have to search for the company and get the data and so on and so forth. So that's what we're going to demonstrate here. So I don't know if it's completely readable, but you just give a line saying that, hey, I want to know about this competitor of this particular company, and I want to know news about it. So what it's going to do is it's going to expand on the thought using an agent, and then it is going to write code on the kind of analysis that it has to do to produce that kind of report. So it's going to write that code, it's going to execute it, it's going to give us back the result in a chart, and then it's going to do further search in terms of news articles, mentions, and all that, and it's going to generate a report for you. It's a bit of the deep research kind of thing, right? So it does all that and then gets it ready to go. All of this while it executes code for you, right? So it changes the nature of what software is built.
Most importantly, it doesn't require a chat interface. This will all be automated. This is in order to show you this piece of software. We have shown it like a chat interface.
So as I mentioned, the nature of software in terms of AI is going to change. So it's going to be AI native. So most of the software is going to be synthesized on demand based on the user's requirements and needs. And that's where we come in. So our USP is our secure code execution platform. So we've focused on that, and we also are all in on serverless, because if you have to have a on-demand software executing at that point in time, you can't get a DevOps team to come and manage that for you, right? All of that has to be managed automatically. So we are all in on serverless. We are getting secure execution context all in place. We're going to get the LLM and tool integrations. We're going to get scalability and all of that as a serverless platform.
So our customers are developers, tech teams, and we are implementing pilot for the early adopters. And then we plan to build the platform and with integrations and provide it as a license. And in the long term, we would like to provide customized solutions to enterprises, and also have partners with consulting firms who can resell our platform. Our pricing is consumption-based, that is based on number of agents used, tokens used, and active agents, and storage, and API calls. Agentic AI is huge, with a total addressable market of $5.4 billion and an annual growth rate of 45%. The addressable market is $1.7 billion. If we target 1,500 teams with a ACV of $30,000, in the 5th year, we can come to $45 million. So we estimate our first year revenue to be $50,000 and grow gradually to $45 million in the 5th year. We are asking for $380,000 for a runway in the year 1 and mid of year 2. And we intend to use this for sales, marketing, and product development. We want to make AI agent development simple, fast, and cost-effective. We are early in the space, and we hope to be the leader. And join us in our journey to make your own AI with Urai.
And thanks for Energia for having us here. So this has been great. So, and if you need anything to talk about AI, we'll be out at the back after that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right on. So my favorite building on campus is actually the King's College building up a little bit. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that building, but it's quite remarkable. It's actually the oldest standing university building in Canada, which is pretty cool. And when you see it, it's made of lots of stone, and it stands out amongst the rest of the campus. And it's remarkable to see how construction technologies have changed from then to now. And I mean, looking at this building, but there are similarities that have, transferred through the course of time. And when I learned about Harv, our next presenter's company, something came, like it was a Skip the Dishes commercial actually that came to my mind. It was a quote, it's like, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so our next presenter, Harv from Build Smarter, has looked at the age-old, one of the oldest industries in existence is construction, and he thought about a different way to build things. And I inspire to be Harv. He's remarkable. He's a solo founder that has built this multi-million-dollar-a-year business by himself. And he's a pretty special person. So without further ado, Harv from Build Smarter.
Hello. Hello? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I appreciate that introduction, Curtis. Like you, I've also cried on a few people's shoulders building the startup. It's been a journey, but I'm glad to be here. But yeah, my name is Harv. I'm an award-winning home builder, and I'm the CEO and founder of Build Smarter Robotics. Many of you might not be aware that about 30% of all the construction material that is being purchased is being cut and discarded and sent to job sites. This is literally billions and billions of dollars. That is also waste of money and taking up valuable space in our landfills. At the same time, the costs are increasing. It's very time-consuming to build these buildings. They're combustible. They can get damaged by floods, and there's a big labor shortage. These are actually long-term headwinds facing almost every city. So what do? How do we solve these long-term headwinds? Well, at Build Smarter, we are building construction 2.0. This is automated, intelligent, and scalable. Click construction technology, TM. So this is precision engineered panels delivered to your door, ready to build. But what does that mean? We can take any set of architectural drawings. We make a 3D model. We value engineer that to be built out of light gauge steel. We send this 3D model to CNC machines. The machines fabricate every single wall, joist, truss. It's labeled, sent to your job site, and installed like a big Lego puzzle. So like Curtis said, we are bootstrapped with significant traction. We have over $20 million of projects in our pipeline, have finished over 25 projects as well, and about $2.27 million in trailing 12 months revenue. At the same time, we've won awards from Cleantech Open, Foresight Canada, Bank of Economic Commission, and Mackenzie Investments. We recently finished an 8-story building in January, which was the tallest prefab steel building in Canada. We will soon be breaking this record and building a 12-story building, hopefully by the end of this year or next year, and we have a 14-story building also in our pipeline. No deposit yet, but hopefully soon. So we are setting records and breaking them. At the same time, intelligent. That word is interesting because we are essentially building an AI agent that is the expert for your project. Think of it as the best site foreman you've ever had. This person knows your project plans and can communicate what's on the project plans to your entire team. I was telling Curtis and Brad here, I was in a call with 12 people just today, and this call happens pretty much every week, just to communicate what's happening on the plans to what we're actually gonna do that week and next week. And these are 12 like relatively highly paid individuals. I mean, except for me, other than me, these are all highly paid individuals. They're wasting a lot of time here. So what's our tech roadmap? We have an automated assembly line. Version 1 of the robotic code has been built. At the same time, we are filing for patents for our wall assemblies. We have one provisional patent, a second one hopefully coming up in a few months. And we are launching our construction AI agent in 2 weeks. So we are cross-selling to our prefab clients. We have 5 relatively high value customers signed up, ready to go in 2 weeks here. So our technology, really in construction, the good thing is you want to be fast and cheap. And that's what we do. We are the fastest way to build with prefab. We're also the cheapest way to build because we're able to use that steel extremely efficiently. At the same time, we are non-combustible, it lasts longer, and it's 100% recyclable. We believe a good chunk of construction will become LGS very soon here. So our business model has been profitable and scalable. $2.7 million in sales. We fundamentally sell our prefab panels and engineering services to other home builders. We have about 35% margins per project right now, and that usually gets a little bit better every year. So this is the team that has taken this from a little startup to a project pipeline over $20 million. I come from a construction background. I essentially grew up on construction sites. I previously built a construction company that had over $1 million in profit, was able to kind of use that to launch Build Smarter, and I'm now building Construction 2.0. Our engineer comes to us from engineering dams and bridges. These are very complicated projects, taking that value engineering approach and now applying it to homes. Our chief growth officer comes to us from Deloitte, and he's also been a pretty valuable member of our team. We have an advisory board consisting of a UBC professor and a member of the Cowichan tribes. Our beachhead market are really these non-combustible buildings. While they're single-family homes that don't necessarily have to be built non-combustible, but people are starting to lean towards building more resilient homes, or these commercial buildings. We have clients like Starbucks, Wendy's, and Tim Hortons that are building these non-combustible buildings, and then we got these mid-rise buildings that are these 6+ story buildings that have to be non-combustible as per the building code. We are winning these jobs all the time. But why now? There's kind of 2 big things. One is the funding. Our Canadian government, as many of you are aware, have allocated $25 billion for prefab construction. We are in prime position to be able to execute and use that money to help us scale up and grow. The second being insurance. We have fires happening in California. We have flooding happening in Florida. We just need to build more resilient homes. That's one of the ways to be able to get insurance and help build homes that will last longer. So this space has been attracting a lot of big investments. Our goal is we want to be one of the fastest, cheapest ways to build. We're a customizable solution. I don't think people want to live in like the boxes that are all the same. They want to live in unique buildings and unique houses, which we're able to do. We also have proprietary technology that we built in-house, a roboticized assembly line, and we've been bootstrapped, and we have finished more projects in a good chunk of these companies here. So what's our ask? We're seeking $2 million to close our seed round. We have secured $1.5 million in debt financing. What this kind of does for us is it helps us open a second location in California. We're actively talking to clients right now. We're having very strong interest. We want to hopefully open that facility by the end of this year. This will unlock about $6 million in sales for 2026. At the same time, it helps us scale up and bring our cost of construction down because we can have bulk ordering for steel and further increasing our margins. So one good thing with Energia, they made us think about our exit strategy, and I said, hey, wait, we have these clients that are our business partners right now, Russell Metals, Kingspan, Bird. These are multi-billion-dollar construction companies that are publicly traded, and we feel like we could be a key acquisition for them down the line. At the same time, talking to McKinsey, private equity is also an option. They kind of gave us this ballpark of 7 to X revenue multiple. So yeah, my name is Harv. I would love to talk to anyone to get you any information. If anyone is interested in investing, especially leading our seed round, that would be a great conversation. If anyone wants to talk to me and build Construction 2.0, which is going to be automated, intelligent, scalable, please come talk to me anytime.
So for this next presenter, Derek from Post Haste, I'm going to pull up my phone here. This is going to help me out. So I have 26,970 email notifications. I have 697 text messages, 1,100 YouTubes. Anyway, the list goes on and on. When I look at my phone, it's a stressful thing. Like, my phone might be one of the most stressful things in my life, and if my friends out there in the crowd know that I'm a pretty bad texter and bad communicator, I much prefer phone calls. But anyways, it's a problem that is deep with a lot of people. It's more than just, having an organized inbox. It's a stressful thing knowing that you're letting people down in your life, the people that you care about. And, Derek will probably say, he's a tech guy, he's a tech bro. And he'll just, he's very sorry, I'm pitching you before. But anyway, it's a problem. It's a problem that I would pay for today to get fixed, and it's a problem I'd pay for to fix for the rest of my life. I'll invite Derek to the stage and let him tell you more about it. Test. Here we go. All right, I'm not a tech bro. Just to be clear. I did show a picture of Curtis's phone to my daughter, and she said, that's not right. My name is Derek Hatchett. I am the founder of Post Haste Software, and I would like to invite you to come along with me as we fix the future of knowledge work. It's not a secret that knowledge workers are in a productivity crisis. Workers will check their email every 6 minutes. Slack, which was supposed to be the great email killer, sends even more signal. We check it twice as often, every 3 minutes. So if you have staff that are spending 2 to 3 hours a day in communication and collaboration software, this is a really important part of their job. The tools are not keeping up. Employers spent $89 billion on business productivity software last year, and yet their employees say that they're stressed, they feel overwhelmed, and they don't think that they're as efficient as they could be. The tools are making us more distracted and less effective. Or as my colleague Ben would say, the struggle is real. And I did not put a trigger warning up here, but if you're stressed, take a few deep breaths. We're going to move on. It'll be okay. For everyone but Curtis, that's his phone on the screen. Our tools should be doing better. Instead of leaving us distracted, they should be helping us to find our actionable work. Instead of overwhelming us, they should let the most important things sit at the top so that we know what we should be focusing on. And instead of a request being buried in page 6 of your email, it should surface that structured view of your work up so that you know what you're responsible for. This is where Post Haste comes in. So we use AI and automation to help you find and stay on top of the most important work across all of your data sources.
We give you a unified view so you can see your tasks, your deadlines, your @mentions all in one place alongside your messages. And we encourage you to work as a team. So categorize that work, prioritize that work, and then delegate that work. Make sure that the right person is working on the most important thing at the right time. Let's take a look at the actual product. So these are screenshots from production. This is the real stuff. First, we drop you into our settings and let you connect as many accounts as you need. So I've got 2 Google accounts here, so I'm bringing in data from Gmail and Google Drive. Then we do offer a reverse chronological feed. I call it our inbox with a twist. So we are showing you those messages, but we're also adding AI-generated summaries, and we're pulling out the work for you with the generative AI so that you know what you're supposed to do, and you can manage the status right here. Or you can click that My Work button and go see a work-centric view. On the work-centric view, we are showing you that important stuff first. So the urgent and important items are going to be at the top. You can do things like update the status here, or I can click on one of those work items and drill in. Unfortunately, this one is a real one for me. It's overdue. I really need to do it tomorrow. But I can change my due date. I can set my priority, look at the details, or I can click reply, and I can send a response right in post haste. So regardless of the data source, regardless of which account, I hit that big blue button, my response goes out to the right place, from the right sender, and then it goes off of my list, cleans it on my to-do list immediately. If the work was not for me, then just assign it to somebody else. This is my favorite icon in the app right now. Assign the work to somebody else, and then you can drop into our team view, and you can see what everybody has assigned to them, what the status is, who's working on what. So like I said, this is the actual product that's in market today. I call it our basic plan. So we have generative AI summaries, we have generated identified tasks, task management, team views. And then as the years goes on, we are going to be layering in more premium features. And as my own first customer, this is where I get really excited. So more advanced automations, deeper AI integrations. There's so much that we can do in here to unlock potential. And then really we have a huge greenfield in front of us. There's so much we can do around knowledge worker productivity. We can build some obvious enterprise features. We can build our own app. We can build in-app commenting. And we're going to let the market pull us in the right directions here. So we're helping out knowledge workers in the best way. So speaking of the market, what are we doing? How are we going to bring people to our app? This year, focusing on founder-led sales, feeding the top of funnel with content and with social prospecting on LinkedIn, as well as hopefully all of you. Year 2, we're going to lean into whatever's working. I'm expecting that we're going to do some content collaborations with influencers in the productivity space, and we're building product-led growth features. So the obvious one, I can assign a work item to somebody with their email address. It doesn't matter if they're already a post-haste user. Our projections are going to land us around 100,000 users in year 5 with at least $18 million in run rate. That number is not pulled out of the air. It's based on an analysis of what other entrants in this space are doing. So as you can imagine, LLM, don't imagine the slide. Let's see the slide. There we go. As you can imagine, LLM-based or LLM-centric productivity tools have to be new and nascent because they've only been out for a few years. You've probably only heard of Superhuman on our list. That's because they were an email client first and they've been layering in AI features. But all of us are taking slightly different approaches to this problem, and where I think Posthaste is really unique is that unified view. One place to look, see everything, no switching tabs, no switching windows. We'll show you all the important stuff. So who am I to be working on this problem? So like I said, my name is Derek. I was an engineering and product leader at Salesforce. I joined as part of the Radian6 acquisition. There's a bunch of alumni in the room, which is amazing. I'm also the host of a podcast about work, appropriately, and this is my 3rd company. I did 2 tours of duty at Salesforce, and my 2nd time back, I rejoined during the pandemic. And one of the things that really struck me was how different it felt. Everyone was working from home and stressed and just overburdened with digital communications. And sort of 2023, the feeling was welling up in me. I was like, I have to do something about this. So I left in 2024. I did product discovery, market research, built probably too many proofs of concept before landing on the vision for Posthaste, which is what you see today. Q1, we released an MVP. We just launched a public beta, so it's available to sign up today. And then the rest of the year, really focusing on selling and fleshing out that feature set. Getting into next year, that's when our product-led growth features start to arrive. And then the really advanced use cases where we start to really pour the gas on AI and automations and help to fix problems like Curtis's 26,000 backlog automatically. And second half of 2026 is sort of the time horizon where we're considering a seed round. If you are interested in that, or if you just want to stay in touch, you would like to keep updated on the company, hit me up on LinkedIn. I've got the code at the back too. Send me a DM with your email and I'll put you on my list. And sign up for the product. It's a free trial. You can get started today, posthaste.ai. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your portfolio companies. We're looking for feedback. This product is going to be amazing, and the more that you tell me what you want, the better we can serve you. So, thanks so much.
Okay, it's the time to thank all of our companies. Oh my gosh, it's been such an amazing cohort, our winter cohort. Usually we don't have winter cohort, but this year was special, and we had launched our winter cohort for the first time, which was amazing. We had companies from across Canada and also New Brunswick, which was an amazing experience to have them right here for the spring, just on the right timing. So thank you very much for all of your, efforts, hard work, and dedication during the last 10 weeks. It's been an amazing journey working with you guys. So a big round of applause for all of the hard work. It's been. But as we say, it takes a village to get there. So I would like to thank for a few more people that help us through this way. First, to the President and Vice Chancellor at UNB, to Dr. Paul Mazerol, to Dr. Kelly Scott Story, Associate Vice President, Research, Innovation, and Partnership today, for joining us today. For Dr. Dhirendra Shukla, that been the driving force of this amazing, I would say, it's amazing center for the last 15 years. So thank you very much. To Dominic Blackley, that has been our acting manager for the last year and doing a remarkable job voluntarily. And to the team of the J. Herbert Smith Center, for Igor, for Amanda, for Nia, for all of your help and support to getting things together. To our funding partners, that we couldn't done that without you, to ACOA, the Atlantic Canada Opportunity Agency, to NBIF, New Brunswick Innovation Foundation. I would like to share a special thanks to our lead mentors, to Curtis Kennedy, our spicy mentor. Huge thanks to our mentors and partners along the way, to Dr. Menash Thomas, to Dr. Ken, to Nestor Gomez, to Tristan Ruder, to Derek Kuhn, to Peter Clark, to Mike Oliver, to Alpha Berha, to Moria Dektiar, to Ryan Reed, to Dr. Jack Arsenault, to Eric Matthews, to Dan Myers, to Kumral, that I'm sorry, I don't want to misspell your last name, so thank you so much. And all of these are very busy people that put their time and volunteering to work with our companies every step of the way. So huge thanks for that. We are appreciative for any minutes that you spend with our startup to get them to the next stage. I would like to thank our partners, to GVN, the Global Venture Network, to NRC, to Ulcer, to Clark Holden, to Mitex, to ONB, to Atlantic Growth Solution, to the Fredericton Chamber of Commerce, to Mechanics Coopers, to Rob Barretts for always giving us the right legal advice for everything, to Entervestor, to Ignite and Planet Hatch, to Futurepreneur, and many others that I can't say that on stage. Please feel free to stick around, to mingle, to check with our companies. They would love to share more insight about their ventures. So we have set up at the back with some light refreshments, some drinks. Stay around, enjoy our networking part together, and help them and spread the words of our amazing startup here. Thank you so much for joining us today and hope to see you in future events.